we get straight into the video, if you guys would do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button, as well as that bell notification if you guys are enjoying the content, I'd greatly appreciate it. We're on the road to 60K now, boys. Now in today's video, we will be doing a update 4.5 tier list, a fruit tier list to be exact. And this is going to be based off of my opinions, my experiences, and what I think about, the current fruits and how they stack up in the meta. If you guys disagree, that's completely fine, but I kindly ask that you guys respectfully disagree in the comments below. No need to be toxic or anything like that. Anyways, let's get straight into the video, boys. Alright, boys, so before we get into this video, I just want to say that this is pre-recorded footage, so don't get confused by that. This is definitely old footage. Another thing I want to reiterate is that this is just based on my opinion. If you guys don't disagree, that's cool, but don't go too hard on your boy in the comment. This list is just purely based off of my, experience with the fruits and stuff like that, and what I think about them. This is a PvP list, by the way. But with that said, getting into the first tier, which is D tier, we have, to no surprise, by the way, Suke and Kilo. Now, we all know that these two fruits can't really do anything, so this comes as no surprise. There was a method someone found with Kilo where they, I think it was Suki. Suki found that with Kilo, with the up tilt trident thing. Basically, he found a way to make Kilo viable. I feel like that's still, even with that, it's just a bad fruit, no matter how you look at it. Same with Suke. We all need to know. We all know about that, so not really no explanation needed for that. So wrapping up D tier out the way, let's get into C tier. And I feel like this is one of those tiers that might cause a lot of controversy because I put Gum and Bomu in there. Now for spin, because they nerfed the airtime, I'm pretty sure spin in the up tilt in the spinning cyclone no longer works because of the startup on spinning cyclone barrage. So that kind of like gutted spin a little bit, I feel like. Obviously you can probably still do spin 2-sword style. Not really too sure how that would work, but I think spin is just alright right now. Let me explain why I put in Gomu where I put Gomu. Gomu Gatling got nerfed, the airtime got nerfed, so you can no longer do up tilt in the Gomu Gatling, I'm pretty sure. You get punished for even using Gomu Gatling. They nerfed for some reason the damage on pistol. Don't know why. That was never really like a damage move in the first place. And there's not just really much you can do with Gomu, like combos wise, pretty like there's not really many ways you can use Gomu in PvP successfully against good players. And it just doesn't have that many tools right now to really succeed that well. Not saying the fruit is bad, because C tier, obviously you could be good with any fruit in the game, but you gotta admit that the Gomu kit definitely has something lacking there. If they added knockback on the Gomu Gatling barrage, that would be a step in the right direction. That way you couldn't get another confirm off of it, but at least you don't get punished just for using it, if that makes sense. But I feel like as for the base of Gomu, it is all right. I would say it's like a low to mid tier. Like I would debate even putting Gomu in B tier, but it is what it is. I'm excited to see what they do with the gears though. Once they add gears, I feel like it'll be a lot better. Now Bomu, Bomu has always been more of a grinding fruit. If this was a grinding tier list, I feel like Bomu would be close to S tier probably, just because of how good and how much utility you get with Bomu. But in PvP, it doesn't really bring much. Not saying it's bad in PvP. Like if someone found like a good combo with it, or something that could like do a lot of damage, or like just some cheese method, I would easily put it in B tier, maybe even higher. But right now Bomu is just kind of like, it's a fruit that you eat and you make work when you got no other options, and it will work if you're good enough. You can make this work, and you can easily beat people that have low gears. But Bomu itself doesn't really have that much to offer. I feel like there's a few combos, up tilt into explosive grab that you can do, and pair with black leg. There are some decent combos, but overall it's just not like amazing. It's solid though. It's definitely a good fruit to go for when you have no other options. But wrapping up C tier, coming into B tier, I feel like this is also going to be another controversial pick because of one fruit in here, actually two fruits. But let's start off with Bari. So Bari, the reason I put Bari in B tier is because Bari has always been brain dead. One cage and it's done. There's many ways you can land cage. You can go for a 5-1 to call you air if you're running black leg, straight in the cage if you get a guard break, or even if you don't get a guard break, you might have enough time to do a cage. You can do up tilt in the cage, which sometimes work. You can do Rokugan in the cage. You guys get the gist. There's plenty of ways you can land cage. One cage though, and it's over. Bari, in the right hands is deadly. It's crazy. It goes crazy. Don't sleep on Bari, I'll tell you that much. But Suna, this is the fruit that quote unquote got gutted in update 4.5. They nerfed Cutlass. They obviously nerfed the airtime, which heavily affected Suna. You can no longer do up tilt in the Desert Cutlass. And overall, the fruit just got nerfed in many different ways. The Desert Storm also does less damage. And honestly, as far as PvP, I wouldn't say it's bad, which is why I put it in B tier. But it's just not as good as it used to be. As far as glory wise, it doesn't have nearly the amount of strengths it does. But if you do have Suna, I wouldn't panic. It's still a good fruit for PvP. You can definitely make it work. Although I would say go black like Suna because that creates more combos than Roku Suna. I feel like black like Suna is better than Roku Suna in my opinion. That's just my opinion, boys. But next we have Tori. Now I placed Tori here for a couple reasons. I just had Tori recently, and I can't say that it is good, but it definitely does get outshined by other fruits. It's not a bad fruit by any means. If you have Tori right now, you're sitting pretty. Tori's in a pretty decent spot right now, I would say. Now, could it use a buff? For sure. It would be nice if they reworked it, but that's not happening. So I would settle for a good buff on Tori. That would be, dope. But it's not a bad fruit. You pair it with something like Fishman Tori, you're a force to be reckoned with. You're dealing like 500 damage plus off of one M1 combo. So it is definitely very solid. Now, Pika's here. I've preached this for a while, and I've gotten into arguments over it, and people have made videos about me of it, that I say Pika is not, top tier. Everyone seems to think Pika is top tier in the game. I'm, going against the bandwagon, and I'm saying that Pika is good, but it's not amazing. There's not really many combos. The only really viable move you have is Pika Kick and Light Lunge, and overall, it takes a lot of stamina. It's just not that good of a fruit for PvP. Grinding, obviously grinding is the best in the game pretty much, other than like Mara, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. That's pretty much what I'm gonna wrap up with there with B tier. Coming into A tier. Now this one, I feel like we can mostly agree with this one. Let me start off with, Horo. Horo, being a fruit that just came out. Obviously, we're still experimenting with it and finding the ways we can use it. But all I gotta say is Negative Hollow. Negative Hollow carries Horo. Without Negative Hollow, Horo would be down there in like C tier. I'll be honest with you. Or if they nerfed it. Goes through block, stuns long enough to give you an entire barrage. Or if you have a crap ton of M1s, you just M1. Go for Collier, Guard Break. Like that. Negative Hollow is just crazy. The ult's pretty decent too. Mini Hollow Barrage, not so much. Explosive Snap Twirl does have its uses, but overall, Horo is in a really good spot right now. Honestly, this meta is really a good spot for rares in general, to be honest with you, because looking at Marrow, I feel like I don't even need to say nothing with Marrow, bro. After they buffed the stun on Marrow, people went crazy with the combos of Marrow. Like, Marrow is a super safe choice right now for PvP. Like, if you have Marrow, you can easily, with the amount of combos it's got, you're hanging up there. You're hanging up there easily, even if you're not that good at the game. Marrow's gonna carry you. Now Zushi, I feel like Zushi has always maintained a consistent spot in PvP. I don't think Zushi's ever been like genuinely bad for PvP. Even when people thought it was bad, then someone came up with Afro Dash and went crazy with the Zushi combos. But Zushi is so good because of how versatile it is. You don't need many points in fruit. Versatile with the builds. You can go Blackleg Zushi, Fishman Zushi, Roku Zushi, anything you want with Zushi. It's so versatile in the ways you can use it, and it's really good in PvP. Like, all of his moves are solid in PvP. I feel the same about Gora too. Gora's in a good spot right now. I feel like it's probably one of the more balanced fruits in the game, and I know people get surprised when I say that because they, their argument is it has all guard breaks, but you gotta realize most of the moves are pretty slow and have high knockback, so it's actually kind of hard to actually create combos. And since the airtime got nerfed, I don't think you can do up tilt into grab correctly anymore, but it's still pretty good. A tier is still really, really good for PvP. There's good combos for it. It's a good fruit no matter how you look at it. So I feel like there's no disputing that. Now Mara probably would have made it into S tier if it was as good as Magu, because like for PvP, when it comes to PvP, Mara is just like a budget Magu pretty much. And the one word of the day is Flame Pillar. He can comes out really fast. If you aim it right, you can get it confirmed he can after 5-in-1 combo. Or you can just do my motto, when in doubt, Flame Pillar it out, boys. And it's like, Mara is actually a really good fruit. I would honestly say Mara is probably one of the best fruits in the game right now overall, not just for PvP. Amazing best fruit for dungeons, you know what I'm saying? And PvP is just really good for it. Like, you can't go wrong with Mara in PvP right now, I feel like. Wrapping up A tier, I feel like A tier was one of the tiers I was actually pretty confident about. I kind of thought about, you know, all the things that should be in A tier and kind of weighed it out, the differences and stuff like that. But hopping into the S tier, I feel like this is a tier that no one's going to be surprised about. A few people may be surprised to see Hiei in this tier, so I guess I'll start with that. Hiei is constantly being underrated in this game, not only for his PvP capabilities, but for his grinding capabilities as well as value. You guys get the gist. Hiei is insane in PvP. It goes hard. There's still infinite combos for Hiei. There's this new move stacking glitch with Hiei where you can move stack with Ice Sword and the Ice Tongue. There's so much stuff we can do with it. You know, the Black Leg, Goro, Mink Pole, Golden Pole combo, that still exists. Like, Hiei will just never be bad, I feel like, unless they just straight up nerf it to the ground. But right now, it's also in a still really good place in the meta right now, so don't sleep on Hiei, boys. Do not sleep on Hiei. I know my boy Chase is happy jumping in his chair that I'm saying this about Hiei probably, but it is what it is, boys. Hiei is good and it's here to stay. Now with Goro and Magu, I feel like these need no explanations. Magu, Eruption. Because they added hyper armor and increased the speed on it, now you have plenty of ways that you can get Eruption confirmed. It is insane, and the amount of damage that Eruption does is good. Now, they did nerf the damage that Eruption did total recently, but I found that it hasn't made that much of a difference, and Magus are still pretty brain dead to deal with. Goro is just Goro. I feel like no matter what they do, Goro will always be, or always excel at PvP. Like, Goro has just always been insane. Like, for the entirety of this game, there's never been a point where Goro has been bad. You know, every fruit has had their points where they're bad. There's been a point where everyone thought Mira was bad. There's been a point where everyone thought Magu was bad. And there's been a point where everyone thought, like, Goro was bad when it first came out because nobody knew how to use it. But it's like, this has never been that fruit. Goro, the day it came out, has always been dominant in PvP, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, that's the full list, guys. Kind of shared my opinions on each tier. Let me know what you guys thought about this. I will be doing more tier lists soon, like a trading value tier list, a dungeon tier list, accessories tier list, sword tier list. You guys get the gist. But let me know what you guys thought about this one. This is a PvP list. Again, I just want to clarify that this is a PvP only list, so that way you guys don't get confused about that. But anyways, it's been your boy Clouds. Hopefully y'all are having a great time. I know Thanksgiving's coming up, so hopefully you guys are having, you know, fun time with your family and everything like that. I'll see y'all in the next one, boys. Peace.